Alright, part 4, bitches. And I'm gonna get straight into it because I'm gonna just put the intro at the front if I'm not too lazy and I feel like downloading this and then putting it on. If not, I'm sorry, you're not getting my intro or outro. But yeah, where I left off was actually at the end of the fucking USJ. And I remember what happened. Uraraka escapes. Deku went ape on a fucking no-move. Wanted to test the limits of his power. I remember on some Itachi type shit. Why do I still have you in here? But yeah. Fuck, I left my cup up there. Oh well, I'm gonna get that in a minute. So after Deku tests the limits of his power, you can already tell what happened. The Calvary arrived, kicked open the door. But the slinger started busting down. That. Oh wait, that wasn't right. The slinger started busting down. That's a quote, right? That's a quote. I'm gonna start quoting myself. All right. So you know how I'm talking about. I started shooting niggas. I thought that was a random ass person. Anyway. Now, after that whole incident, you know what happens. You know, week or two, what was it? A week or two off school, we know. So I'm gonna say in that time, Predator would be, you know, he'd spend all his time tinkering. Except for Mina coming over. I think Tetsuyu would too, considering. And yes, I'm like, no, I think Mina would just come over and didn't invite Tetsuyu later. Because she's interested in Predator, but, like, it's... I don't know how to explain it. Because being interested in Predator isn't, like, it isn't weird. You know what I mean? It's, like, it's more of, she's like a frog, and Mina's more of an alien type thing. What's really crazy is the fact that Predator can actually see fucking Invisible Girl with, like, you know what I mean, like with the thermal. So he knows exactly what she looked like. Now I remember saying that in the last video too, that Deku can see the Invisible Girl. I think it was the last one. I forget which one it was, but I know he could see the Invisible Girl in one of them. That's my bad if I get it wrong, but I've been gone for 4 days. It's not because I had to be gone, because I couldn't find the right time to do What If. And by the time I'd be done on Discord, it would be like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just about passed out. But today, everyone decided to hop off, so yeah, I'm uploading today. And I won't be in my chambers for like 2 weeks. And then I'm gonna come back to the chamber. Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually start doing that, even though I don't know if I should. Yeah, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Because in about a month, that'll be stupid. So, yeah, no, my bad. I was like thinking of, because of the fact I'm 17, and my parents said like, all right, look, before we cared about where you, like, before certain shit, and I graduated, they're like, all right, so you, basically my dad hit me with this, look, bro, I don't care where the fuck you go anymore. Just let me know, like, what the hell you're about to do, because I don't want to. You don't want me to do no stupid shit, basically. And knowing me, stupid shit finds me if it wants to. I avoid stupid shit because I don't want to get shot, stabbed, or dumb shit. And yes, that shit has happened around me. I've seen people get shot, stabbed, and doing dumb shit. And yes, I have friends who've been shot, stabbed, and known people who got shot, stabbed, and both. So no, I don't want to get shot and stabbed. That shit is not fun. I'd rather get shot than stabbed. Stabbed, you can't walk for a while. But let's not talk about that. Because if you argue with me, I can prove the facts. But let's continue before I get pissed off at myself for no reason, talking to a fucking picture of Predator, watching niggas spray Brawlhalla. But yeah. And if you're wondering where the gameplay is, well, actually, that's not my fault. That is my fault. I should play something in the background, but I don't have... Fuck, I can't do Jason tonight then. I'm sorry for whoever wants Jason. Or Naruto. This is probably going to be the only one I'm doing. I fucking hate myself. I'm streaming... Look, here's the thing. I'll stream both of those tomorrow for gameplay in the back, okay? I just don't have a Predator game. So I decided to do this. And that was my rant for like 3 minutes. Fuck, stupid bitch. Alright. So, in them 2 weeks, I would say Mina would, like, drop by every day. And when you say, oh, but why would she drop by every day? Well, because Mina and Predator have known each other since they were kids, basically. So, they basically, the parents are like, alright, so he lives there, yada, yada, go ahead. Cause, mind you, they've known each other since kids, so the parents are like, no, we trust him. And plus, it's Nezu. Like, basically, he's under the care of Nezu, which he pretty much isn't now. Because Nezu was like, alright, you got your own room. We're still testing out the dormitories. So, you on your own for right now. We'll drop off food and water. We know that you can cook, eat, fix shit. You on your own, nigga. You on your own. Like, the funny shit is, like, he built his own fucking Xbox, PC, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch. He built all of them shits for when he gets bored. So, basically, every time you see this nigga, like, every time he gets bored, this nigga will just walk over, turn on his Xbox that he built himself, that's as strong as the new Xbox, or PS4, or PS5 coming out, as an Xbox. So, this nigga isn't lagging, getting in the matches 10 seconds before. This nigga pick rate on Rainbow, instead of it being like 20 to 30 seconds, this nigga's seconds is 40. This nigga is breaking shit. But let's not talk about how broken this nigga knowledge is. So, yeah. Now in them 2 weeks, I'm gonna say Mina starts trying to get closer to Predator, and Predator's oblivious as hell to an extent, so he's like, okay. And she's basically helping him with things. Like, he's making her different things. Like, you know the helmet he made her for the bike? He fixed that up a little bit so she can carry it around. Not carry it around, but you know what I mean. Like, she can use it, basically. But it doesn't complement her suit, so she doesn't really use it. However, they do tend to train, too. Like, the one day, I would say during the week, she has, like, Deku, Predator, that can he train her? And this is when he was tinkering with his helmet. So he popped the fucking welder's thing up, the welder's mask up. He was like, what? When have you ever wanted fucking training from me? Since when? And then she was like, well, I was thinking about it, and seeing you fight kind of turned me on. And then she was like, made me think, maybe I could use a martial art or two. And Predator basically gave her a look like, did she just? Nah, she didn't. And then he was like, okay, well, I guess training starts in an hour. Get to stretching. And she said, oh, I will. And he just, like, looked at her. He was like, what did you mean by that? And she was like, nothing. And basically walked away. And she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that in front of him. And he was just got back to willing to tell me. He was like, what the fuck does she mean by get this? Like, I will. Like, I know you will. You have to. It's martial arts. You have to stretch. So basically, mind you, he's not stupid. It's just, mind you, he's not used to advances from anyone. Because he's a shut-in. And not the shut-in that's a weeb as hell. He's a shut-in that just fixes things. So in them 2 weeks, it's basically Mina, like, trying to get some Predator blank, and Predator, like, not knowing she's trying to get some blank. And hopefully people get to put the lines together because it started with a D and ended with a K. It's 18 plus anyway. But she trying to get in fact she's trying to she's trying to get Deku to break down her walls of Jericho. I must say it takes him a week to really get notice that Mina's being a little different. She's changing her hair, putting on makeup, smelling better, and I didn't mean it like that. That's actually, that last part was kind of fucked up now that I said that. Smelling better. Nigga. Oh, never mind. Actually, yeah, you can't, if you have a, I'm blind as shit. I'm not gonna lie. So, my senses are good as hell. I can smell shit that's weird. So, yeah, this nigga, would smell different things from her. He was like, oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, I can't wait until I do this one what if. That's gonna be stupid as hell. But, yeah. Enough about the what ifs I'm thinking. So, as I said, Deku... What is it? It takes Deku about a week before he's like... It actually takes him shorter because he notices small things like her hair is straighter. Like, she combs it out more. It doesn't look as wild. She looks like she's trying to lose weight, but is considering not to. Because she sees that Deku, doesn't... matter of fact, she asked him during the week, oh, Deku, what do you... what is your whole stance on weight? He basically says, I mean, if I had someone who, be perfect in body size, it would pretty much be you, so... And then he got back to doing his thing, and she was like, oh my gosh. He didn't just say that. He was in her mind, and he was like, I mean, makes sense. Oh, this nigga ranked number 5, and he's in the East. Oh, that's pretty cool. But you know what I mean by that. She basically said, okay, so I don't need to lose weight or gain weight. I just need to stay like this. And mind you, she's constantly talking to the girls in the class about how she can get Predator's attention. Mind you, because some of them are like, oh, I don't really want to talk to the Predator. He seems kind of weird, and, he killed a fucking Nomu. The other were, a couple are like, he might be interesting. Tetsuyu's like, I might swing for him. Why not? He's in my batting cage. Mina's swinging like hell, trying to hit him. And I'm gonna say, Deku fucks up one time and throws, I'm gonna say, a slow ass straight. And what I mean by that is, during training, Mina, decided that she would say, oh, I forgot my fucking shorts. Oh, I guess I'm training in fucking skirt today. He looks at her and says, what the fuck? No, you can't kick in the skirt. She says, oh, watch me. And that whole thing. And Deku basically realizes, and it clicks to him. It's like, after seeing, a droplet or two flow down, he was like, oh. And then she hits a home fucking run. And he said, and basically, he gets, you see, how do I explain this? Basically, he puts the helmet on, and you see the eyes go from red to pink, and he's like, oh shit, the helmet isn't gonna work, and tosses it off. And she says, what the fuck was that? And he says, nothing, don't worry about it. And she's like, no, nigga. I mean, she doesn't say that. She's like, no, what was that? And he says, oh, and was looking around, looking for an excuse. You know how, and she basically walks up on him, and basically gives him the whole, seduction spiel. Puts her body on him, touches him. And she's like, no, you meant something by that color. He says, all of a sudden, the trees started rising. I hope someone gets that reference. I really hope someone gets that. And she basically saw the tree, and she was like, oh. And gave him one of the shadiest smiles, and then started to descend. And that's where I'm gonna stop it, because yeah, I'm not trying to get fucking fucked. I'm not trying to get my shit rocked out of existence for the first time. And yeah, I'm not trying to get my shit just like suspended out of existence. Honestly, that's enough. So I'm gonna say the week goes by and it's just, it's in the room, on the couch, in the bathroom, and in the in the house. It's in the kitchen, in the basement, in the attic, and maybe I don't even know where else to go in the house. But they do it everywhere, including where he fixes shit at. And they did it so much that they ran out of Saiyan battle armor. I hope someone got that reference too. But I'm gonna say Deku finds a way around things like that. Because he's that guy. When Mina basically, after they ran out like halfway through the week, she was like, we're out of Saiyan battle armor. And he says, we don't really need to worry about that. I got an idea for that. She says, what? I use my acid to melt your swimmers? Yeah, your swimmers. And he says, no. You forget I'm a hive. And then he says, this thing can probably just eat it. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. He finds a way, but it's not that. My bad. I tried to think of something fast, but that's disgusting. Just imagine, yo. Oh my gosh. If I'd have went with that, I would have been despicable. Two Yamikos? Yo, that is retarded. Never want to see that line up again. Yeah, let me get my cup. My mouth is getting dry. Nope, homo. No homo. And yes, my headphones did disconnect for a sec. Where my cup at? I'm retarded. It was right next to me the entire time, wasn't it? Yep. I am slow as hell. Anyway, I'm gonna continue, because my dumbass. So it's time for school to open up. Back up. And you know what time it is. It's student festival time. Where people get the shit beat out of them. Predator cannot wear any of his suit functions because that's cheating. And for those who are like, he can just say it's one of his items. He's a hero. Plus, some things enhance his quirk. So yeah, no. So here comes today the hero. School opens back up. Aizawa basically comes in, does the whole thing because of everything that happened, that festival was pushed up. So it's at the end of the week. And mind you, everyone's reacting different ways because some of them are like, oh, okay, that makes kind of sense because it was supposed to be 3 weeks into school, but they couldn't have it 3 weeks into school. Some of them are like, oh no, it should be they should give us an extra week because you never know, we still need extra training. And then you get Predator, who was Predator legit turns around and says, you have to be ready for combat at any time, so if it was tomorrow, you'd have to be ready for it by tomorrow. There's nothing you could do about it. And everyone thought about that. Mind you, Predator doesn't speak much in class, so for him to say, you have to be ready for a fight at any time, Bakugo respected that. Mind you, Bakugo doesn't talk to Predator, but he's seen that Predator was has that warrior mentality, you can't expect combat all the time. You just have to be ready for it. And Bakugo's he's right, actually. You can't be ready for something like this. Mind you, he doesn't say it, he just thinks it Bugs is right, basically. He just calls them Bugs just because, fuck it. So, I'm gonna say a week passes still, because, Like, a couple kids' opinions are not going to change the fact that it's a school festival. No, people say, oh, they have rights, they're still students. Like, let's be honest here. The principal schedules something, and the whole staff is fine with it. And if one kid says, like, oh, I'm not ready for it, I legit, like, any principal or any teacher would say, then stay the fuck home. So, yeah. Day of the exam. So, because Deku doesn't, the Predator's still on the look for his ass in a different fucking dimension, and Devora's still on the look for his ass, in a different fucking dimension, they aren't there. And yes, they're still looking for him, but they can't find, like, they both get readings for him, but they can't get to him because, he's in a different part of a galaxy, or, as I said, in a different reality. So they can't really do shit about it until another portal opens up. They walk through and say, oh, okay, there this little nigga is. But anyway, let's see, what the fuck do I want to do? Ah, yes. So, it's time for examination, basically. Now, this is the race. I don't remember anything special happened before it. All I know is that in the beginning, they explained how it was gonna go. Well, they didn't, but you know what I'm getting at. Basically, race to a coliseum, yada yada. But yeah, let's start. Oh, by the way, Mario got one for all, or Mario, or however you want to say his name. Fucking Fallout Boy looking ass. Okay. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I remember where I'm at. So, I want to say, what is the name? President Mike and Aizawa explain the race. Basically explain the different portions, like the tightrope walking, the robot. They don't explain the robot at the beginning. The robots, the landmine part, and everything. And basically, they both, all of them said, and by the way, you're not supposed to use, things that'll help your quirk. You're only supposed to use your quirk. And as such, everyone looked at Predator and basically told him to take the fucking helmet off. And he said, basically, isn't this a part of my quirk? They say, no, you built that, you bastard. Basically, they say, no, you built that. And he said, fine, and takes the helmet off. And it's time for a race to start. So, in the beginning, everything happens as canon. Besides Todoroki not having... Todoroki would have a reason to prove himself. But he wouldn't think fucking Deku is All Might's love child still. Secret love child. Which was the dumbest thing ever, but it made sense. But it didn't. But let's continue. So in the beginning, we all know Todoroki frees the robot, frees contestant's feet. Deku basically didn't get caught out there because when you think okay, someone's gonna do something, they're probably gonna do it. So he prepared for Todoroki to be on some shady shit and reacted that way. So as such, as soon as he went to freeze the ground, Deku jumps up and slides across the ice. And when Todoroki freezes the whole robot and all that, the same thing happens. I forget what the different parts of the exam were. I think it was robots, tightrope, mines, then Coliseum. But the only part that would really give Deku any problem is the tightrope. Okay, if you have never seen a Predator, Like, they have balance, but their, like, legs are wide as hell to help them with their running and stalking. Something was on my phone. So, that's the only thing that gives him a little bit of trouble is, like, the robots don't give him any trouble, because he mainly just dodges them, and if they get too fucking close, all he does is spit acid on them with a bug, like Devora does on his arm. Oh my gosh, forgot this nigga had wings. What the fuck is wrong with me? He could have just flown to the end, but I'm holding his ass so much because I forgot what the fuck he had. I feel like an idiot. I know someone was gonna be in the comments at the end of the video like, hey, you forgot the guy had wings. I'm retarded. I'm gonna say cause he doesn't use them. I'm gonna say he gets to the tightrope and was about to fall, and then his wings activate and he flies over. He's like, oh shit, I forgot I had wings. And his whole classmates are like the same reaction as when fucking Vegeta had when Deku dropped Zeno's button. He had the look of disgust, anger, and all around, what the fuck is wrong with you? Look on his face. So, you know what happens basically. All the nigga does is fly out of the chasm and fly to the end of the test. Deku gets number 1. And if it wasn't for the fact that Deku remembered how to fly, he probably would have got he wouldn't have gotten number 1. I'm gonna be honest with you. Bakugo or Todoroki probably would have hawked him, and he probably would have came either first, second, or third. But he came in first, and everyone else came. I said everyone else came. Everyone was behind him, set like different interval. So he was just sitting there, like just doing nothing. So I'm gonna say this: he just pulls out a mini Nintendo Switch, he basically has the capsule, presses it, and turns it into a Nintendo Switch. And he just starts playing fucking Zelda Wildlands on that shit. And everyone's sitting there looking like, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck is he doing in here? And why the hell is he playing Zelda, The Legend of Zelda right now? This nigga had it, like, messed with the Switch so much that he's able to play the older Zelda games, too. Like, this nigga said, alright, so I beat that one. Time to play the Twilight Princess. I mean, he beat Ocarina of Time in the fucking, like, waiting for everyone. Or he finished it, so he was like, alright, time for the Twilight Princess. And everyone was just sitting there, he was like, wait a second, this nigga just say he beat Ocarina of Time. Now he's playing Twilight, okay. And yes, I do not know the order of Zelda, because I'm not the smart, I'm kind of stupid. I mean, grades-wise, I'm not stupid, but you know what I mean. It's like 5 in the morning, almost 4:30. So I'm kind of retarded right now. Ah, shit. One sec. Yeah, I'm back. Had to pause. My phone thought it was gonna catch me slipping again with a random amount of less than a half a gigabyte left in storage. Like, no, motherfucker. I know how much storage I have. Stop cheating me. And it went right back up to 2 gigabytes. So yeah, before that video shit would have ended midway and I'd being pissed off. Yeah, this nigga basically playing the Twilight Princess. And as soon as he sees Midna, I don't know how to say her fucking name. Midna, or I don't know how the hell people say it. I just call her like that. Basically, like, he gets an idea. He's like, huh, actually, maybe I should create a small assistant robot that's like her. And that's when him and the fuck is her name? I'm gonna say Tool Girl. Oh, excuse me. The fuck? I can't remember her name. I think her name was Sodomy or something. I don't know. I'm not the best with names either, as we can tell. I can't remember everyone in one name. I just call niggas by their names, like Duct Tape. I call them by names. I feel like the name, like Flex Steel, like fucking Sugar Rush, and all that, and the Animal Talker, like shit like that. have distinct names for them. So I'm gonna say, after people get there, everyone's still confused about why Deku is still playing the Twilight Princess, and basically I'm gonna say it gets to the point where, you know, that girl walks in and she's basically runs up to Deku and she's like, how the hell did you get a Wii Switch in here? I mean, Nintendo Switch in here, and how are you playing Ocarina of Time? And he's like, oh, I built this, basically. It's my Switch. I built it to, like, be able to run to run Ocarina of Time and the older games I want to play and beat into this system, into a fucking Switch. And she's like, but that's hard as hell to do. You need to change everything about the Switch, which is damn near impossible, which is like stupid hard because you have to know shit. He was like, I'm not stupid. I actually did do that. I changed the whole thing of it. And then he pops it off and shows her how he does it. She's like, oh, holy shit, this nigga's a genius. I mean, yeah, this nigga's a genius. It's not like Ha Davis. Fuck out of here. And she's like, yada yada, I'm this, because I don't remember her name. And he says, I'm Deku, but everyone calls me the Predator. I don't know why, but I do feel like a predator half the time. Not a child predator, though. And everyone was quiet by that. Like, that last joke, everyone was just quiet. And, like, they just stared at him. And he was like, yeah, that was horrible, wasn't it? Everyone said yes. And then I'm going to say, then the 1 million pops on his head just because he said that. He was like, President Mike was like, you know, I was going to take it easy on, like, everyone and be like, alright, like, first place gets 100. But he was like, because you said that fucked up a joke, here's a million on his head. And everyone, the same scene in the fucking... You take another sip. One sec. Yep, I'm back. I'm laying down, fuck it. So, where did I leave off? Oh yeah, yeah, 1,000,000 points. So, as we all know, Deku gets the 1,000,000 points because of that fucked up joke. And basically, points a huge targets on his head. And mind you, remember, most people didn't want to be with this nigga because of that. But the same people come through besides Ochako. Like, because, you know, Ochako isn't trying to get the Deku. I hope someone got that dealt, the Deku. Acting like she wasn't. Instead of being Ochako that comes over, it's Mina, Tetsuyu, Dark Shadow, and that is her name, Mei Hatsume. They come over and they formulate a strategy. All Deku says is, okay, so here's what I can do. He's like, I can fly all of us up there for as long as we need, I think. Maybe like 15 minutes. Then we'll rest for 5 and, you know, do that whole thing. Yeah. Then Mina says, okay, here's my quirk, and basically spits acid. And she says, I can change it. And that's pretty much it. Sia says, well, I'm a frog. Ribbit. Dark Shadow says, yeah, this is Dark Shadow, but, you know, he isn't that strong in the sun. Yada yada. Mei says, I have tools. Deku says, what do you have? And she says, what do you need? Deku says, I asked first. She basically says, alright, rocket boots, this, that. He says, alright, let me see them boots real quick, and tinkers with them. And now basically, he's basically saying, yeah, like, even if I'm not, I'm gonna be holding on to the points. So even if you guys want to sit down there and just chill, I'll be fine with that. Like, I'm gonna just be the one focusing the fire. Basically, if you guys still want to be Calvary with me, I'll hold one of you. And Mina basically said, I'll help you out. And Deku basically looked at her, he was like, I know you're gonna take it. And begins. And how it begins is Deku flies up with Mina for 15 minutes. While the rest of them, like, the one girl tinkers, basically fixing her stuff up for the extra part of the exam. Tetsuyu and Dark Shadow basically get to talking, and they're like, okay, so how do basically your quirk work, and do all that. And Mina's talking to Deku, or Predator. Now, mind you, would think Predator doesn't let his senses down. So he sensed that Bakugo was coming at his neck and would just, like, he'd fly down and move around, basically, like a fly, while talking to Mina. Which is the smoothest thing ever, because he never took his eyes off her. Todoroki would try to get him and, shoot ice shards at him. Deku would just dodge him again. Like, it's nothing. Like, this man's just moving on instinct. And the examination would end after a while, because, you know, you can't hit Predator, and you can't hit Predator, basically. He's too smart to get hit. So now it's time for the tournament. Dun 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 dun. It's the same as canon, though, so don't worry. So, as we all know, it's Deku versus Shinso, and everything that was explained to Deku in the beginning. And yes, I'm gonna skip the whole ceremony thing, as in person talking, because it's just gonna be the same thing. Everyone's gonna be quiet, and basically Bakugo gonna do the same thing. I'll win. Matter of fact, I'm gonna change it. Like, when Bakugo, pretty sure I heard someone. When Bakugo says, I'm gonna win, Predator says, hold up, jumps on the stage and says, you haven't beat me in a fight. You can't even beat me. You couldn't grab me in the air. What makes you possibly think you'll win? And Bakugo says, because we're going to be on the ground. And Deku says, that doesn't change anything. You're still going to lose. I'm going to win, actually. Like, no one out here can beat me in a fight, physically. Except for All Might right now. And even then, like, I'm pretty sure I know his weakness, but we're not going to talk about that. And All Might basically got to thinking, like, damn, did he find out I was injured? Or my time limit? And Deku basically, like, looks. And he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his weakness. And I'm not even going to call Bakugo a bitch this time, because actually anyone would take offense to that. After taking offense to that, basically everyone was mad at Deku because A, he ran for the whole hour with the million points, and then basically said no one can beat him. And he even said this, look, I won't use the wings the entire time unless someone else flies in the air. So you don't have to worry about me basically in air quotes cheating. So yeah, time to begin. Now, mind you, the first match was Shinso, and Shinso was like, went on this whole spiel like, oh, how he was born, like how he was born with a good quirk, yada yada. And Predator doesn't even like, he doesn't know Shinso's quirk, but he's like, he thinks in his mind like, you know, for someone who's supposed to be in a fight, he's talking an awful lot. I'm not even gonna respond to it. Walks up and just like slides him, just pow, and knocks it. He hits it with a Doma, and he just folds over, like his whole body folds forward, and then he falls back. He falls to his side. And why the fuck I keep hearing my name? And Deku's pronounced the winner because of knockout. And then when Shinso wakes up, he was like, dude, like, this quirk isn't all that. I'm just smart as hell. That's why I'm able to use it. And I work out too. So that's why he got freaking knocked the fuck out. Shinso was like, you know what? Actually, I wasn't. Basically, he punched some sense into Shinso. Shinso was like, actually, you know, he's right. I wasn't thinking straight. I could have actually been something like a detective or a cop. There's something good with interrogation, period. All you have to do is lose your sense for like 5 seconds, and Shinso got you. But Shinso still doesn't chance her out of the hero, like, whole scene. The whole hero scene tries to get into it still. It's cold. It's hell in this room, but I'm gonna finish this up. Now, the second round, everything will continue as canon. Bakugo will fight Ochako. Besides Deku not getting mad this time, he's like, like, it was a good fight. She did what he... Basically, he was like, when everyone else getting mad, like, oh, it's a girl, he shouldn't have done that. I mean, there's nothing for you not to see there. No, if y'all want to see that Bugs Bunny picture, where is it? There we go. Anyway. So, watch, that's going to end up being the thumbnail somehow, 40 minutes in. But when Bakugo, after the Bakugo does that, Deku basically gives that look like he actually did the right thing. That's not disrespectful of him to do that. She gave it hit her all, and he basically did the same. Like, he didn't disrespect her in that fight. And everyone's still thinking like, oh, it's a girl, he shouldn't have done that, yada yada. And then Bakugo basically says to Bakugo, like, look, you did the right thing, actually. Like, he basically even says that in front of Akara. He's like, he did the right thing. It's a fight. Even, like, these two are forced to fight. There's no way he, like, even me, who has a thing about hitting girls, period, would have hit her. Or at least tried to get her out the ring. So he didn't do anything wrong. She went 100% and he met her there. And that's respecting the fight. That's not disrespecting her. Like, he even says it. Like, what's really disrespectful is if he held back, lost or win, like, and basically she knew that he was holding back. That's hard on someone. Like, even for their strength and psyche. That'll mess someone up that you held back. That's why when I hit Shinso in the mouth, he even says, that's why when I hit Shinso in the chin, I used full force and knocked him out. I didn't give him half force. I didn't give him a love tap. That was my full force, and I almost knocked his jaw off. Because when they went to get the autopsy done for Shinso, they was like, yeah, you got a, let's see, fractured jaw, a dislocated jaw, and basically your jaw's been cracked, fractured, and yeah. He hit you. He basically said he hit you with an X-ray from Mortal Kombat. And Shinso was like, couldn't talk. He was like, basically, if he could talk, he was like, damn. But now it's Deku and Todoroki. Now Deku was met in the hallway by Endeavor, basically telling him like, oh, like, have my son use the fire side of him. And Deku was like, he can use whatever side he wants. I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna win anyway. Basically walked across past Endeavor. Endeavor's like, how dare you talk to me like that? I'm the number 2 hero. And Deku hits him with, exactly, number 2. Like, and he hits him with the, you're not number 1. You don't deserve to respect the number 1. Second place is first loser. And then walks away. And Endeavor gets pissed at that. So, now it's the match. Todoroki versus King. I suppose I'd say King. Todoroki versus fucking Predator. I like how, like, my friend said, oh, dude, what if you were in My Hero? I'd be like, if I was in My Hero, my character would be the king of monsters, pretty much, because I'm King Alligator. But, yeah. That's for here, or there. So, Now, when the fight begins, Deku basically said, when, like, Todoroki about to do his whole spiel about how he hates this fire site, Deku says, look, you use your eyesight, you're gonna miss me, I'm gonna slide and knock your ass out. Use your fire side, I'm gonna still miss me, slide and knock your ass out. But if you do, Dicing a bug for a second. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm getting sleepy, that's what. And basically, he tells Todoroki, like, look, that's your quirk. Like, this bug, it's my quirk. It's a bug from my quirk. That quirk is not your father's. And Todoroki's like, oh, but it came from him. He was like, so? It's in your body. He didn't just give you it. He didn't magically summon it into you. He didn't seal it into you. It's your quirk. Like, you're born with it. Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. It's your quirk. You were born with it, same way I was born with my bugs and appearance. Now let's stop shitting on yourself and use your fire. And yeah, that happens. But Todoroki still gets slumped because Deku was told the truth. As soon as Todoroki went for his fire, Deku slid, jumped over it, and made it like he was on Ultra Instinct. And basically, like, slumped him with the left hook this time. And Todoroki was sent back. Was knocked the fuck out again. And everyone was sitting there like, so, you're telling me he did all that, used his fire quirk and everything. This kid just went Ultra Instinct Goku, pretty much, and just slid his shit again. Deku says, pretty much, like, and he even tells Todoroki, it was a good fight, it's just you're not used to fire, so you couldn't just spam it. And Todoroki was like, yeah, and as he, like, went to unconsciousness. And now it's time for the final bout with Deku and Bakugo. Now Bakugo was like, I've been waiting for your arrogant ass to get down here. And Predator was like, it's not arrogance nor cockiness, it's just the truth. And I'm gonna beat you, even if it's one punch or 100. You're not gonna beat me, even if you hit me. And the match begins. Now, in this match, you got you get two people who are adept at combat. One person with explosions, another person with bugs. So as such, Deku's playing this one smart. He's laying bug mines. Like, think of what Shino does. He's just laying mine after wire. So, my bad, I thought I heard my name again. I really need to go to sleep. Oh man. I don't keep my headphone out just in case. Alright, so the fight begins, basically. Now, as I said, Deku's dropping bugs all over the arena to set up traps. So, as such, like, Bakugo go charging in stupidly, and Deku will block a kick coming to the skull. And he would counter it by trying to grab Bakugo's leg and slamming him into one of the traps. Which he does. He grabs Bakugo by the foot and slams him into the ring. And the bug comes up and bites the fuck out of him. Hitting him with the venom that basically, it doesn't paralyze him but numbs him, basically. And then Deku proceeds to keep slamming Bakugo until Bakugo basically, like, explodes Deku's arm. And no, he doesn't blow it off, he just stings Deku. And basically lands. Now, Bakugo's feeling pretty fucking numb at this point, because he got bit by bugs, slammed, and then barely escaped. And he's kind of pissed off Deku because he was like, you know, that kind of stung. And Deku charges at him. 90, this is fast. So Bakugo has no time to react, and Bakugo gets this punch straight into his gut. And then an uppercut, keeping him in the air, and then a kick to the stomach basically to end the combo, sending him flying almost out the ring. until Bakugo stops himself by, explosions. Then Deku runs up and basically drop kicks him out the ring into the wall, basically leaving like a huge crater. And I don't mean like a regular drop kick. This is a missile drop kick. Where Deku just runs up and just kicks him and lands straight down on his back. Then kicks up. And mind you, people were like, "Oh, that's anticlimactic as hell." Everyone in that fight realized that Deku got hurt. I mean, got like a little scuff, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm in this fight now." And basically drop kicked his ass into a wall. And I'm gonna leave it off here because nothing else really happened besides the award ceremony. Fucking, I don't even remember what I was gonna say. All I know is like good night. Fucking, I'm gonna try and upload 2 or 3 tomorrow. I'm not totally sure because my upload schedule is, well, it's worse than Fitz 2 years ago. So, yeah, I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace. I think it's worse than C days right now.